So this here is a little YANMAR. I believe it's a 186. Yeah, 186. This is actually my grandfather's little tractor, and I think it's been sitting here for about 2 years, I believe. 2 years, give or take. But I got a lot of memories growing up on this little tractor. Remember when I was real little, we used to have a little finish mower that we would pull behind it before we ended up getting all the zero turn mowers we use now over here on our land. But it's been sitting here. I think the reason it was parked, it had I think the radiator was leaking on it. I believe that, and then I think the battery kept dying on it. So about like any other typical project, you know, good piece of machinery that you can use and it gets parked because of something small and simple like a battery and a radiator. But yeah, so I was just wanting to do kind of a quick real quick look at it before I start moving it. Everything's all spider webs growing on everything. It's just seat, I don't even know where the actual cushion went for the seat, but it's a little stout little tractor, I know that. I'm not sure the horsepower wise. I could probably look up the little specs on it. Let's see if the hood, see if I can pop the little hood on it. I remember I ended up installing this little tractor flap on it. Used to roll a little coal with it when I was young. I used to love driving this little thing. But I'm not 100% on I guess the power plant in the thing. I think my grandfather at one point, I may have to get a rag. It's like a little cereal plate there, I could tell. But I know my grandfather at one point, which sometimes you never know what you can believe he tells you, because he's always full of stories. But I believe he said the little engines in these little tractors are kind of similar to like little Kubota little engines. So, but yeah, like I said, somewhere on the bottom here, I can't remember where. Somewhere on the bottom, I know the radiator was just leaking. You'd fill it up and it's like the core was bad. So I need to, pretty soon I'm gonna plan on probably taking this radiator out. That way I can try to find maybe a replacement, or see if this one can even be, you know, saved and take it to a shop, radiator shop somewhere. Maybe they put a new core in it, or I'm not familiar with what they do, but just get it fixed, to where get a new battery put on it, have the radiator fixed, and we can get back to using it. How you like the redneck engineering? Looks like a little 2-liter bottle on the intake there. But yeah, like I said, I grew up a lot of memories on this little tractor. We used to have, actually here's a little disc that actually kind of is made for this tractor. We also have a little finish mower like I talked about. I think the deck, something with the deck happened or something, so we ended up parking it, not even using it. But yeah, like I said, it was a really good little tractor. So I just wanted to kind of do, before I move it and start trying to work on it, try to get it back running where we can use it. Just wanted to kind of look at the state of it. So I cleaned off this boost ID plate, try to get the lighting where you can see. It may work better without it. You can see right there though, the model number 3T72HA, and then if you can read it, max output horsepower 18 horsepower. So it's a little 18 horsepower little YANMAR diesel. It even has the RPMs, max RPMs 2600, displacement volume 5366. Osaka, Japan. That's one of these little tractors, and I guess just the YANMAR brand in general. Pretty solid little little machines because they're Japan made, so you know they got opposite of what China's got. They actually have quality stuff. So thing is not even tight. So there's one thing for sure, is all these hoses are definitely corroded and dry rotted. Huh? There's some coolant in there. This one's gonna be a little tricky to get to in here. It clamps all the way on the back side. See if I can get in there with some needle nose. Might be a little tricky. Let's see. I'm also having to do this out here in our chicken house. So it used to be a chicken house. This now kind of just storage. It's used for just storing everything that's in the way. Let's see, it's a Phillips. Hopefully this isn't too seized up. I can get it with this, hopefully with a screwdriver. If not, I'll have to put a, oh yeah. Well, if that's all the coolant, that ain't much. There's been more than that. I think I'm gonna take this fan shroud. Yep, I'm gonna take the fan shroud off. Oh yeah. So I think all I gotta do is disconnect that bottom radiator hose, and I think we can pull the radiator out. It's definitely seen better days. I think the other side is where it was actually puking out pretty bad. Oh yeah. So you can see there, real bad spot. Look, I mean this here doesn't even, it just doesn't even look. I mean, again, I'm not 100% knowledgeable, but I don't think it's supposed to look like that. I think at one point my grandfather dumped some kind of a like to seal the leak kind of stuff. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm pretty sure he poured a lot of that in this, just trying to get it to stop leaking, and that may be a lot of what all these little green pieces are. But I mean, it's just definitely has issues. It's got several spots that are just really bad on it. But so yeah, let's see if I can find a number on this somewhere now. There may not even be anything on it other than what's on the top, but I was hoping maybe I could find a number on this thing, like an ID number. It might help me find the replacement. But at least now that I got it off, I'll be able to get the dimensions on it. Like I said, I knew this was at an angle here, so the ones I've been looking at had an angle here, and they had this angle on the bottom here. But like I said, I found some that had both of these, and then I found some that only had the two outside ones, but it said it was the right one. So all right, so it's been about a week since I took the radiator off, and we took it up to a local guy that he repairs radiators. Got a little radiator shop, and you can see right there, I think that's where, even I believe right there as well, he soldered it all back up, and he said he thinks it's good to go. We looked at a brand new one, and a brand new one for this little tractor was going to be about $300, and we were planning on getting a new one, and the guy said, wherever I gave him a call, and he said, bring it up there, bring the old one up there to him, and he'll see if he can save it. If he can save it, it'll be a lot cheaper, and if it doesn't, if it still has issues and still leaks, then I'll just go ahead and plan on doing what we originally planned, just get a new one. So, but yep, so we're gonna put it in. I'm gonna reinstall it back in the tractor, and then we're gonna put some coolant in it, and then I got that battery's pretty much dead. I think we got a good battery around here. If not, I'll just probably go buy a brand new battery and put on it, and hopefully we can fire this whole tractor up and hear it run after sitting for a good while. So Ready? That battery's too weak.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That works good, don't it?
What? Oh, these impacts?
Yeah.
One of the best things I ever bought was these battery impacts. For sure.
There it is.
Oh, Jesus. Luther, we need to put some grease on that in WD-40.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, look at that. Look at how long it's been since that's been greased.
Hey,
It's lasted this long.
all right.
Oh, there. Jack's like, man, why am I picking up, man? Quit spinning. This is not easy. I got it started. At least two opposite on each other. Pulled up pretty good.
Yeah, it ain't gonna take much.
I just getting quit to get spinning on me. I'm trying to put the wheel on. goes.
You're in business.
How you in business? Well, she's back in storage, but definitely not back in the same spot she's been sitting for a good while. So my GoPro died when I was in the middle of doing all this here, but so we had to run. The battery that was on this thing was definitely bad. We kept trying to jump it just to get the tractor moved out of here, and it just wouldn't take no charge, even jumping it. So we ended up going and getting a with the good old Tractor Supply. Got another battery for it, and then we went ahead. The cables were pretty bad on it, so we went ahead and ran all our new cables. We got a lot of slack. You can see here the ground, it's got a lot of slack in it. The positive, it's got a good bit of slack over there as well, because right now the battery's just sitting on this little piece of plywood, and planning on the little frame down here. We're gonna try to gonna build like a little mount or whatever, or a little, I guess, a little platform, and then a way to secure the battery. So yeah, that's just kind of, this is all temporary with all the extra excessive, I guess, wire you would say, but had to leave it for whenever we get ready to kind of get the permanent setup for the battery. But, and also, like I said, my camera died, so I'm having to film my phone right now, but just kind of wanted to show what we did. The oil pressure sensor right here, if you can see it down in there, the old one, I guess, I don't know if if I broke it, maybe trying to put the radiator back in or whatever, but the little black plastic, you can kind of see it right there, the little black plastic, it was just broken half, and so we had to get a new little oil pressure sensor for it, and that one was a little different style, so we had to like cut the old connector off and put a new one on it. The other one was the old one was like a push lock pin, and this one's got a little screw, so not that big of a deal. But all the old hoses you can see right there, all the old hoses are still on the radiator, because we wanted to make sure the guy that we had at the radiator shop work on this one. We wanted to make sure, I guess, that it wasn't leaking anymore before we just, went ahead and replaced all the hoses and everything. So now that we know, you can see, let me see if I can get in here. You can see right there the few spots I guess he had to touch up and had to solder, and he said he completely flushed. He said it was stopped up. The guy said at the shop it was stopped up about 80%. So he got it all cleaned and flushed for us, and then, like I said, those few leaks, he got those fixed. Saved us about probably 250 bucks, I think. No, yeah, about 250 bucks, because I think he fixed it for, I think, about $75, and a brand new one shipped here was like $325. So it saved about $250. So I'm glad this thing here is so far, knock on wood, it seems like it's working and gonna stay working. So now that we know the radiator's good, we can end up replacing all the hoses that need to be replaced. This one here is it was cracking pretty bad. So we'll replace it. Like I said, we'll end up in the future, maybe get another video in the future of us replacing the hoses and then kind of making the permanent battery setup. But definitely glad to have it back running. It you know, I don't like, I guess I don't like seeing stuff that isn't, I guess, broke, you would say, completely broke, 100% beyond repairable. I just hate seeing stuff sit, you know, whenever it's still got life in it. So this little tractor, you know, it does good to see it back up and going and alive. And we've got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of chores we do around our land that this thing really does help out on. You can see our zero turn right there. We got this one, and we actually have another one, and they do all the mowing, just the yards right here. But we got a pond. This would come in handy, kind of where it's a lot softer. This can handle the wet terrain more than the zero turn can. So just chores like that, you know, pulling trailers, hauling stuff off, pulling brush away. You know, this little tractor, you know, it'll do all the job, you know, the small yard work. If the zero turns kind of too much for them, this tractor comes in real handy between the zero turns and then our bigger tractor. This is a nice little tractor to have. And then we have another one, but you can't really see it because all the junk we have here. But we have another. It's a John Deere, and it's actually a diesel, and I think it's, oh, this is an 18 horsepower, and I think that one, is like 22, 23 horsepower. So it's actually a pretty big mower. It's got a big belly deck on it, but it actually has a like ball on the back, or a hitch where you can pull stuff with it. It doesn't have a 3-point, but it actually, I believe, has the exact same, or a very compatible engine in it that is actually in this one. We thought about robbing parts off this one to get this one back going, but I plan on getting this tractor back going soon, so definitely didn't want to take any parts off of it for this tractor. So definitely just a lot of things, a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of junk, honestly. But this here I don't think is junk. I don't think that John Deere is junk, you know, just a lot of stuff that really is, once it's up and going with a little time and effort, you know, it's kind of nice to have around. So yeah, I'm just glad to see her up and going again.